Well, clearly people will have seen the club statement on Ricky Miller and they'll have seen the reports in the papers as well. Is there any more you're able to tell us about his situation?
No, just that the club's going to help Ricky. The club's made a statement, and that's as far as it goes really. My only focus is on the lads who are here, the team, and making sure we're right for Sunday.
Is he at the club at the moment?
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's at home. So, like I say, the club's made a statement, and I don't really want to talk too much more about it.
And it just underlines, doesn't it, how football management is such a big job, in that it's not just about focusing on the tactics and the football side of it. You've had a few different instances already in your managerial career so far where you have all manner of different things to deal with.
Of course, you know, as a football manager, it's just not. People think it's easy just to pick a team and go out there at the weekend. It's not. There's a lot of challenges during the week from a lot of players and different circumstances. But in the whole, we've got a really good group, you know, and there's not much brought to my door really. We just concentrate every day on our training. We concentrate every day on trying to get right for the next game, which is Wimbledon, and that's where we are really, you know. And the boys have worked really hard today, and after the Cambridge game, leading into today. So we're all looking forward to the game now. You know, in front of the Sky cameras, where predominantly we've been good, touch wood. We can go and perform again.
And as is always the way, opportunities for other players if a player isn't available. And we saw Danny Lloyd obviously on Tuesday night, and Idris Kanu potentially. They're both going to have a big part to play.
They are. They're going to be huge for us now. You know, I've told you before about Idris. He's going to be a special talent for the football club. I think people forget he's only 17. You know, he's improving every day. I thought he was excellent when he came on against Cambridge. He showed his qualities of how strong he is as well for a 17-year-old. Once he gets that last little bit in and around the box that we're working with him every day, you know, myself and David, and finishing drills and sharp sessions for him individually, he's going to be good for Peterborough United. So delighted with Eddie. He works hard as well. Comes in every morning about 7:45, knocks on our door looking for extra sessions. He's a top boy. And Danny, you know, was brought to this club because he was excellent last year at Stockport. I think he got 29 goals, I think it was, something like that, playing off of centre forward. So we know Danny can play there. We know he can play wide. We know he can play as a number 10. And I thought he done really well against Cambridge. You know, he's been waiting patiently for his chance. He's up on his training. We're specifically adapting his training so he can get to the way that we want him to play. Again, an individual report for a plan for Danny Lloyd that he's been on for the last 3-4 weeks, and it's making him better. He's definitely improving, and he deserved his chance and he took it.
And important for both Idris and Danny, but I suppose particularly Danny, given the level that he'd been playing at, you're not necessarily going to just turn up at a club like the Posh in League One and walk straight into the team. So managing those expectations and working through that process is presumably a big part of what he's been doing. Of
course. I mean, Danny was brought to the club because we didn't think we were going to have Marcus Maddison, to be honest. You know, there was a lot of interest in Marcus in the summer. We brought Danny in as almost a replacement to Marcus, maybe. So he maybe found it difficult when Marcus signed a new contract. But we know Danny Lloyd can not only play in the number 10. You've seen him as a striker at Stockport last year. I don't know if you had, but he played there. We know he can play wide. He's got a lot of different strings to his bow. But one thing Danny's got is the biggest asset to his game is his enthusiasm and his ability to work hard and his ability to run at people. And his pace. So he's a threat to us, you know, a threat for us, sorry, against oppositions, and we're delighted to have him there.
Yeah, and of course when it comes to looking at the strikers, you may have an option fewer than you'd ideally like, but in that number 10 role, as we've mentioned over previous weeks, you've got loads of candidates beyond Danny. Clearly Guillon's played there, Jermaine, Chris Forrester could come back in, Leo, and probably further beyond that as well.
We've got good options there. In the midfield area we've got very good options. And they're all keeping each other on their toes, you know. Whether it's the two that was in the team in the last game, the Doherty and Grant, and beyond that we've got, you know, Jermaine and Chrissy Forrester and Leo. So it's you know, it's great to have that competition in there. They're all fighting for each other to try and get in, but in a good way. You know, they're all quite friendly as well. So competition's good, but our only focus now, like I say to you, is going to Wimbledon, trying to put another performance on like the last league game against Shrewsbury, in front of the Sky cameras. You know, we want to put a good account of ourselves and make sure we come away there with 3 points.
Will AFC Wimbledon pose a similar sort of challenge to what we saw with Cambridge United on Tuesday? They have a couple of big lads up front as well.
No, I think they're different in Cambridge. Lyle Taylor's a big lad, but he's not a big physical lad like a Peasy or a Berry. He's more of a threat in behind and quick and good finisher. You know, so they've got different threats. They've got good threats in attacking areas, whether it's Forrester or Barcham who plays. They've got good threats that we need to make sure we nullify. But also, like I've always said to you, concentrate on our threats. We will be concentrating firmly on us. Yes, we'll touch a little bit on AFC Wimbledon, but it's all about what we do. I've said it before, I think the only way we get beat, and we've showed this season, is when we don't perform. But when we do perform, like you've seen in the Wiggins and the Shrewsbury games and the Cambridge away game or the Bristol Rovers away game and so on, then we're a threat for any team that we play against. And that's my job, that's the players' job to make sure they're focused and ready, making sure I'm getting them focused and ready for the games, because like I've always said, if we don't win a game, I always take the responsibility and it's down to me. So yeah, so we're hoping we can go there and try and get a win.
And Kingsmeadow, I guess it was quite a nice place to play because it's not the biggest stadium, but the fans are really close to the pitch and the atmosphere all seems to be good.
Yeah, I remember it last year there, it was a 0-0, was right at the end of last season, and the fans are right behind us. You know, the Peterborough fans are right behind our dugout, and you know, they've been great with us. You know, this season they've been, on a whole, they've been very good. We're going to need them again on Sunday. We need them to come down there and support us. Although the game's on TV, we'd much prefer you to be at Kingsmeadow and getting behind the boys and trying to get us on to get 3 points. So yeah, we're looking forward to that.
And just to finish, what's the thinking with Conor O'Malley and Jonathan Bond this weekend? Because you've had O'Malley come in for the 2 cup games, you've had Jonathan Bond in for much of the season. Does Bond come straight back in? Is he seen as being the lead goalkeeper at the moment, or are they really pushing one another hard? I've
got 3 excellent goalkeepers. Jonathan Bond, Conor O'Malley, Josh Tibbetts. Josh is improving every single day in training. You know, I think Tiles is delighted with him. Very, very brave. One of the bravest goalkeepers I've seen. Conor's come in, as you've seen, in the 2 games and done really well. And Bondy's been top drawer all season. So it's a good decision to have on Sunday. I do know my decision, but I ain't going to tell you now so that the Wimbledon manager can make a, you know, I can see that. But yes, of course, it's good to have that, and I think every you know, good team in this league have a good decision over goalkeepers.
And of course, unlike last season, you've got a few more options, so that when it comes round to January and who knows what's going to happen with Jonathan Bond, at least you've got the flexibility there. Yeah,
of course. I mean, it was probably one of the reasons why we brought Conor in as well, because we didn't want to get in a situation like we did with Luke McGee last year, where we had him for very little money, and all of a sudden he's done well, and the club wants more for him in terms of his loan agreement. So it's yeah, it was delighted that the chairman backed me last year on the Luke situation, but we don't want to be held ransom really. I'm not sure Reading would do that. That's a conversation we'll have, but we just got to make sure that we're covered in that position in case anything happens, or because the loan is only for 6 months. It wasn't, Reading didn't want a year's loan. It was only a 6-month loan. So we gotta be ready in case there are any other clubs sniffing around Bondi, Championship, etc. We have to make sure we've got a plan B, which we do.